come about. Classes were built in secondary schools, and this regime chose to have our children continue learning in their primary schools, even though junior secondary school. So we have a great shortage of classrooms in these schools, yet the classes where they should be carrying out their studies are left in secondary schools, Honorable Speaker. This regime ought to have looked at this thing in depth before making that decision to continue having them in the existing primary schools. It creates an imbalance, Honorable Speaker. You have very young children in Standard 7 wearing trousers and blazers, amidst other students who are putting on shorts. Even those who are in Standard 8 are putting on shorts, yet their juniors in class 7 are putting on the trousers and blazers, Honorable Speaker. This kind of imbalance ought not to have taken shape. And that is why the drafters of the junior secondary school section so chose to have them go to high school, where everybody else is dressed just like them, Honorable Speaker. I noted with great dismay that even though there are 14 compulsory subjects and other elective subjects that come to about 8, so 22 in number, only one teacher is plugged into a junior secondary school. Even if you are a genius, for heaven's sake, you cannot teach 22 subjects, Honorable Speaker, and this is something that has to be properly looked into. And when this regime chose to have 35,000 more additional teachers to primary schools, I had thought that they were going to be sane enough, amid this insanity, to have these teachers going to junior secondary schools. So there is a great shortage in those schools, Honorable Speaker. Besides the fact that there are certain subjects that call for laboratories, and there are no laboratories in all these schools. So you have children undertaking theory lessons without practicals, Honorable Speaker. So this is total disarray of our education system, Honorable Speaker. Amidst all this disorganization, they are also expected to pay 11,000 shillings, dubbed lunch money. Now, it is good to have lunch in school, because lunch probably is the only meal that these children can have in a day, amidst the poverty that has permeated our systems. But you have children who cannot afford 11,000 shillings to pay, but they are forced to pay that kind of money, Honorable Speaker. So you ask yourself, what happened? Just the other year, they were running back home to eat and come back to school in the afternoon. Now, parents are being forced to check out 11,000 shillings every year. Now, our CDF, NG-CDF system has not given us regulations to go down deep into Standard 6 or Standard 7. So, as I was walking around my constituency, I was being confronted by these facts. To have these children be put under the category of NG-CDF under bursary. I was telling them, no, we cannot do that because our regulations do not allow us to do so. So it's a total mess, Honorable Speaker, and I wish at one point in time, this House will come to make a decision around junior secondary schools. If it is not addressed in good time, Honorable Speaker, I'm very afraid that we are losing a generation, academically speaking. And if we lose a generation, an entire generation, thousands and thousands of students, what will then happen to them few years to come? My kid in Standard 7 will be asking me, Dad, you saw this happening and you never raised any alarm. At least I will be vindicated by this debate, Honorable Speaker, that I tried to bring it to light so that our children can know that that kind of disorganization should not be allowed to pass, Honorable Speaker.